Hi everybody, it's David Fleming here from the Toronto Realty blog, and welcome to this week's Pick 5. Now, if you read my blog last week, or if you read my e-newsletter, which you can subscribe to somewhere, I don't think in this video, maybe on TRB, I was talking about the average home price in the GTA. Specifically the fact that it really only went up, I think, 0.1%. Went up from about 804,000 and change to 805,000. Now, I would have thought that the average home price from April to May would go up more, and then from May it would cool a little bit as we finish out June, which is basically the end of a very busy spring market. So what I've seen so far this month is an uptick in listings. Now, numbers, you can make them say anything you want, of course. I'm going just kind of with my gut, and I'm seeing more volume, which is great for buyers. For sellers, I've seen a few houses that haven't sold for what they should have. I've seen properties that have been listed, got multiple offers, and the sellers take them off the market and raise it at a higher price. That was very prevalent last year. I haven't had to do that. I've done that once in my career, which was, of course, last April. Haven't had to do that this year. Call it luck, call it, dare I say, I am good at what I do? Maybe a little. Haven't had to do that yet, but it is starting to happen, and we're starting to see this big uptick in listings. So the pick 5 today, as you saw from the title, is about Roncesvalles. The reason I thought we would do Roncesvalles is because there's actually a fair amount of inventory, specifically from what I would call the starting price point up towards, kind of the middle tier. Now, when you look at any given area, when the market is busy, let's say that you're looking on the east side in Danforth Village, it's always kind of where my mind goes, and you're looking for a 3-bed, 2-bath with a parking space. When the market's busy, in a given week, you might get 3 of those that come onto the market. But what if there are 8 or 9? That's kind of what we're seeing in certain pockets right now. So Roncesvalles, there's usually no listings. You get 1 a week, 2 maybe, one's at $999, one's at $1.9 million. No, today we've got a bunch of properties. They're staggered between $1 million and $1.5 million, and I want to take a look at those. So let's take a look at our map here. I want to zoom in and draw what I consider to be, and here's the tough part. We all disagree on what the boundaries of Roncesvalles are. Let's do this. Let's draw a little line here from Dundas down Lansdowne, or actually scratch that. Let's go between Lansdowne and Macdonell, because no one wants to live on Lansdowne, down to Queen and up Roncesvalles. Now, this little box is Roncesvalles. Of course, this says Parkdale, but I beg to differ. Now, once you get on the other side of Roncesvalles, on the west side, surely this is still Roncesvalles. Are you going to tell me the person that lives on Fermanagh here and the person that lives on Fermanagh here think that they're in different areas? No, they don't. But school districts change, and the vibe changes as well. The style of homes change. So in this area here, we have much bigger properties. And school districts, I'm going to zoom in here because I want to show you this is tremendously important. Here we have Fern. Fern is the school for primarily everything on the east side of Roncesvalles. Then down here, we have Garden. Now, down here, let me zoom out and let me find it for you. We have, well, let's see, that's Parkdale Collegiate Institute. Parkdale, the public school, take my word for it, it is down and around there. And it is unfortunately not a fantastic school, at least by the rankings. So let me show you this. Okay, so here's our Fraser Institute rankings. We're going to go like this and find Fern. So here's Fern Avenue. As you can see, it ranks a 6.7, which is shocking because this is a school that's always in the high 7s, low 8s. As I said, maybe that one kid, Billy, not so bright, shows up, writes the test, and just bombs it, but it is now a 6.7. So let's see Garden. Garden, there we go. Garden ranks an 8.3, ranked 191st out of 3,064. Excellent school. Take my word for it, the people that live in Roncesvalles will tell you that Garden and Fern are essentially the same thing. Right now, the rankings are a little bit different. Now let's go and find Howard. Howard is another school in Ronces that's up a little bit further north. I didn't show it to you. This ranks a 7.4. Now let's find Parkdale. I believe the term is 2.1. It's a 2.1 out of 10. So I wrote about this once on my blog, and a teacher or principal, don't want to out anybody, wrote me a long, nasty email and said that I'm a bigot and I don't know what I'm talking about, and basically just lambasted me for saying that Parkdale is not a good school because of the Fraser Institute ranking. Now, I believe I said it doesn't have a good ranking, which makes it not a good school according to the Fraser Institute. So you can read into that whatever you like. The principal ended up telling me that there's all kinds of programs and there's all kinds of outdoor spaces and there's great soccer fields and yada, 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 which I'm sure a lot of schools have. Bottom line in Parkdale, sorry, Freudian slip. Bottom line in Roncesvalles, if you ask the people that are looking to buy there if they want their kids going to Parkdale or if they want their kids going to Garden, Fern, or Howard, yada, yada, yada. I'm sure you can fill in the blanks. I'm not going to typecast. So as we look through the properties today, and you can see here, there are actually 6 of them we're going to look at. We're going to look at the school districts, among other things. So first property here, guys, is 99 Fern Avenue. Getting right on to Fern. So we've got a $949 list. It's obviously not going to sell for $949. We have a 3-bed, 3-bath, 3 three-pieces. We have lane parking, detached 2-car garage, 19 by 120 foot lot. Says it has a family room. Love to see that. 2 kitchens. So likely one in the basement. Now, we'll go to the photos here. Not a bad house. And this, I'm not going to pretend like I'm an architect right now. This style, not Victorian, not Edwardian. It's very prevalent for the smaller 3-bed, 2-bath homes that are usually the lower price properties in the area. That's the best way I can describe with my architect hat on. So you can see this thing could, I don't want to say needs work, but could use some work. I like the original pine floors. That's about it. I hate the furniture. The ceiling, not my thing. So you get it, right? This house needs a little bit of TLC. The toughest part about selling real estate is telling that to the sellers. You walk into someone's house and you go, well, this isn't why it's selling, or this is why it's not selling. If it's a realist, I've got one of those on the go right now, hence why I'm thinking. Or you walk in and you go, yeah, no, it's got good bones, and your voice goes up. Yeah, no, yeah, there's some things I like about it. And then, obviously people come in and they talk about gutting it. So this is the very definition of good bones. It's a solid layout, right? The photos probably don't do the house justice because you can paint. This is the basement bathroom. It's kind of weird looking. The rooms are good sizes. That's probably the family room they're mentioning. That's the kitchen upstairs. Love the toilet cover. And that's one of the bedrooms. So I think you get the idea. Decent backyard. Again, it's a 120-foot lot. But this thing needs work. Cool, really funky colors. And at $999, 2-car garage, what in the heck do you want in Roncesvalles? So we'll take a look at the map. This is a prime location. So not only is it on the street where your kids go to school, which I always thought was a benefit. I was very jealous of my friend Will growing up because I went to Besbro and I lived way down the street on Besbro Drive, and he lived, I've told this story before, I know I have, because I remember putting the images up. He lived across the street, and every day at lunch we wanted to watch that show, Out of This World, with a girl that could freeze time touching her fingers like this. I literally have told this story on Pick 5 before. I've told every story. But I'm going to continue it. So I had to leave every day at 12:50, and I never got to see the ending. And he would wait until the bell rang, saw the end of the show, and then cross the street and go in through the parking lot doors. So I think that, I can hear people laughing at me on the other side. I think that this is awesome. 10 houses down from the school. You could literally watch and wave to your kid, make sure that they get to the school, safety first. And of course, it is how far from the park? Well, what, 2.5 blocks. And then it is spitting distance to Roncesvalles. So it's an awesome location. It's just a matter of, what is this thing going to actually sell for? So let me go to our comparables. Now, this is Roncesvalles, obviously not including everything west of Roncesvalles Avenue. There are 32, can I circle this? There are 32 sales. So when I said you're lucky to get this kind of volume, we're in, the 25th, 26th week of the year. We've got 5 months. Let's see, 5 times 4.5, 22.5 plus 2 weeks. Okay, so 24.5 weeks, somewhere around there. And we've got 32 divided by, call it 24. You're getting an average of 1.3 listings. I meant to do that. 1.3 listings a week. 1.3 listings a week. Not a lot in Roncesvalles. This is why I'm saying right now that there seems to be volume. So I want to show you a couple of houses which I think could or should shed, some light on this one. So here's a 19 by 127, 3-bed, 2-bath, and not in the best shape, as you can tell. This is what the photos look like. But this thing was listed for $949, sold for $1,175,000. Remember, our good friend here is a 19 by 120, listed at $949. See the similarities there. Now you've got 53 Galley, 19 by 124, 3-bed, 2-bath, selling for $1,150,000, listed at $969,000. So there's differences in these properties, no doubt about it. But you've got to look at that range. So my target for this would be about 1.1 million. If you got it for less, it's a hell of a deal based on the comparables. If you paid more, $1,150,000, you're right in the wheelhouse of what other things are going for. But this essentially is entry level to Roncesvalles. Now let's go one slightly step up. Yeah, I think I got that. So now we're at 23 Galley. So where is 23 Galley? Well, it's on the other side of Sororan. Here we were at Fern. Fern was over here. Galley's down here. Gotcha. So what we're looking at here is a slightly bigger home. We've got, a 2.5 story. So the one we were just at, let me just humor me here, 19 by 120, 2-story. Here we've got 19.2 by 122, 2.5 story. So that's why it's the next step up ever so slightly. It's got 2-car parking, just like the last one off the laneway, but there is no garage. Partly finished basement. The other one was kind of partly finished as well. This one, however, only has 1 bathroom. This one, I do believe, shows better, but might use a little bit more work. So this is great staging. The other one didn't stage. This is the proverbial lipstick on a pig. This is what we do in real estate, I'm sorry to say. This house shows a lot better because of the staging. I mean, honestly, let's just be honest. No one owns this mirror. If you're watching this and you own this mirror, you are the only person in the world. This is a staging mirror. This is a staging table. This is a staging setup. These 2 chairs face this couch. No one lives like this. This is staged. So the other one could have done this. They didn't. Maybe some things in this house are a little bit better shape. The layout's obviously different. I'm going to show you the floor plans. The room sizes seem to be bigger to me, and then they've got this up top. So that's really the big difference, is this extra half story, which they're kind of staging it right now as a bedroom, but would you really use it as a bedroom? I'm not sure. Beautiful backyard. That's great. Very low maintenance. And great shot, 2-car parking. I probably would have blurred out the license plates if it were me. So we do have floor plans. Fantastic. Let me just zoom out. Holy moly. I'm going to show you up top. You know what? These really do nothing for me. I know that these are like more architectural drawings, and they're probably better for people that are smarter. But for people that are dumber, like me and everyone watching this, we just want like your typical floor plans. Yay! You know, just thick lines and not so architecturally pleasing. I don't think that was the right vocabulary. Anyways, so let me just zoom back in here. Yeah, it's confusing. This is I'm not this smart. So what is this? 8 feet slope to 7.2. Oh, that's the ceiling height. Cool. So as you can see, the staircase splits the floor. What you really want up here is to eventually blow out the back here and add a bathroom in his and hers closets. That's what my clients in Riverdale are going to be doing at some point, because you've got a half story. So, or maybe it's back here. Sorry, whatever it is. I can't tell which is the front and which is the back. But whether it's here or whether it's here, that's the goal. You want to add space, and you want to make this into a master, and that behooves his and hers closets. Okay, so let me go back here. So 2.5 story, $1,099,000. This is a little bit different. This one is listed higher. It's $150,000 higher than the last one, but I think the values are very, very similar. So this should be effectively priced at or around market. It's probably a little bit higher, $1,150,000, $1,175,000. And again, they just took a slightly different strategy. So I've done that in this market, right? Some people are still underlisting, some people are not. This is not extremely underlisted. The last one certainly was. The last one was $150,000 under what I think it's worth. This one's about maybe 75, although it'll probably do better because people seem to like Galley. Okay, so 46 Wright Street. Oh, did I tell you what school that was in? Yeah, they're both in Fern. You guys got that, right? Fern. Got my notes. Yes, they're both in Fern. Everything's in Fern that we're looking at today except a couple. Okay, so 46 Wright. So where are we here? We're on the other side of Sororan now. And Wright, so Wright is close to this little interesting area here, Wabash, and then you get into, see the scrap metals. So it gets a little industrial. Now, a lot of Roncesvalles is industrial. If you go up to, let's say, this area here, some of Dundas is nice, and then some, again, auto service here. You've got a lot of industrial around here. Here's a brewing place. And then, of course, you have the train tracks behind you. So there's this interesting little mix. Of course, over here, where are we? On Sororan. This is a condo now. This used to be industrial as well. You've got the Robert Watson lofts. and then behind it you've got 383 Sorauren. So you used to look out your window here. I had a client that sold a unit for exactly this reason. You'd look out the window, there'd be a great view. You're looking out over this, I don't know what it was, maybe wood, metal. It was a big yard, like where you'd expect to see on TV, like a junkyard dog comes running out and chases you out of the area. And now it's a condo. So point being, this is a little too close, sorry, for some people to all of this jazz here. And, you know, the photos suck. Let me be honest. Let's take a look. So, first of all, your very first photo is a weird, dark, awkward picture of a living space. Where's the exterior of the house? This, to me, we're going to go through it quick, is really too bad. Yeah, okay, I don't feel bad. It's not an agent I know, and this agent's from way outside the city. That's who you want to list your Roncesvalles home with, is somebody 70 kilometers away. Great. Okay, so photos suck, no staging. Cool, the door's open. I hate photos of like running water, right? You ever watch my, or see my blogs on MLS Musings? I hate things like that. So the photos are awful. I don't know if this is a drone or somebody up on a ladder. I suspect it is the latter. See what I did there? Weird, awful, jungle. This is like word association. Tree stump, toilet, Fern. Fern. This is in Fern School District. Wow. Oh, great. Thank you for showing us the exterior of the house with 2 trees that are blocking it. So I don't love this one, and neither does the market. This has been on the market for 10 days. They're at $1,190,000. They're a semi-detached 3-story, really narrow, 13.5. So the lot's graded 132 feet, but 13.5. Think about that. The first one we saw was 19. The second one we saw was 19.22. 13.5. Now, a semi-detached means, of course, you are only attached at one side. So there is space between the house on the other side. Let's say it's what, 3.5, 4 feet? It's got to be 3.5, 4 feet. You're splitting that with your neighbor. That means the room size is here. The maximum width is about 12 feet. That's crazy. That is way too narrow. You have an unfinished basement. You have no parking. You have a 13-foot lot, and you're at $1,190,000. It's overpriced. That's the way it is. It's overpriced. It's an agent from outside the city. And here, look, feels like a cottage in the city. Reno respects Victorian heritage with modern openness. Option to reduplex back into 2 units. I love when people say that. Like, bathroom was removed to put in shoe closet. Easily converted back. Easily? Right. Let me see. Quotes, renovation, setbacks. Oh, the 60 grand. Yeah, now that's easy. Anyways, don't love this one, but I wanted to throw that in there because I think that at $1,190,000, it plays off of the other 2 very nicely. Okay, 69 Lynd. Now we're into a different spot. Let's take a look here. We're up further north. So Lynd is just at the top of Roncesvalles. Now, some people consider, you know, Dundas and Bloor Roncesvalles. Not really. So Lynd is in Howard School District. Remember Howard, which I think ranks as 7.4. The school is around here somewhere. I'm not going to spend too long looking for it. I don't know. It's around here somewhere. Okay. So this is a cool spot because you're close to Dundas and you're close to Roncesvalles, both of which have infrastructure. You are, what, 1-2 blocks to this little parquet. And I don't know, it's kind of charming from the outside, right? It's got a little bit of that first property we saw in Fern with a little bit more of the Edwardian style as well. So this is a semi-detached 2-story, 17.5 by 120-foot lot, 3 beds, 2 baths. Here's the rub. The +1 is in the basement. The other bath is in the basement. They both belong to a tenant. So that's great if you're looking for the $1,000 a month. It's my dad emailing me about hockey cards. Yeah, I'll get back to you, Dad. That's great, the $1,000 a month, if you are actually looking for someone to help you pay the mortgage. If not, then what are you going to do with that space, right? You've got a kitchen down there. There's probably a separate entrance. It might not be the whole flow that you're looking for. And this is why I always tell people, if you want basement income, buy a house with basement income. If you don't, then don't. Actually, though, I had clients who bought in Riverdale, and that's an easy fix. Literally put the staircase back, man cave it up. So we'll take a look at the photos here because this place is really, really nicely polished. And then $1,300,000, it's kind of wild. So main floor, I will say the one thing that I noticed is the width. So this is a 17.5-foot lot. It doesn't really feel as wide as you might expect it to. The kitchen's a bit snug, although they've kind of opened all of this here. And where you expect to see a bar, they've got this table. Okay, so that's the back mudroom, which is very nice if you have kids and you are driving and parking in your space and coming in, and they're trekking mud in, and they're crazy. They're yelling for no reason. You don't know why they're yelling. They don't know why they're yelling, but they're 18 months old and they just yell at you. Sometimes they physically push you away. Like my daughter, who's so cute, but really physically rejects me. Okay, so here's the basement apartment. What have we got here? We got a guy sleeping on the floor for $1,000 a month. And we got a nice little kitchenette. Okay, not bad. Great backyard, 2-car parking. And there you got it. So what's this one going to sell for? Now this is interesting because they have offers on the 21st and I don't see more than 1.3 here, folks. I don't know. Call me crazy. And I'll eat my words if this sells for more than 1.3. The thing that could help it sell for more than 1.3 is the $1,000 a month in the basement. That will carry $200,000 worth of mortgage, but I think this thing is accurately priced. The first one's definitely overpriced. The second one, piece of crap, overpriced. This one I think is fairly priced. Who's got it listed? Oh, I know him. I've done a couple deals with him. So yeah, would not be surprised. There's one thing I like here. This is cute. Garage filled with seller's belongings, but easily fits a vehicle. Basically, you a stager ran out of storage room and just jammed the garage full. Okay, I'm going to speed up here, guys, because I have 2 more. So, 35 Macdonell. This is the only detached we're looking at. This is a detached 2-story, 22, really wide, 135, really deep, 2-car parking, unfinished basement, 3-bed, 2-bath, $1,579,000. Why is it $1,579,000? That's why. Victorian and beautiful. So first of all, it's detached. You're paying more for detached. Absolutely you are. It's also absolutely gorgeous. This reminds me of, like, remember Century Schoolhouse? Yes? No? In the 80s, you would dress up in turn of the century clothing, and then you would go to Century Schoolhouse. Mr. McGee? No, McCree? I'm really digging deep here. And then you would do things like you'd write with a feather pen that you dip into a quill. It was basically a morning sitting at really old school desks, and you would pretend that it was, 1906. And the person that ran it used to teach with my mom at Parkside way back in the day. You didn't need to know that. But Century Schoolhouse. One of you guys remembers. I know you do if you're from Toronto. Right, so let me go to the rest of the photos. Okay, because this is a very cool house. So this is the kind of character and charm that people go nuts for in Victorians. And this is why this thing is $1,579,000. So it's also nicely updated. I mean, maybe you don't like the green and you don't like the layout. The dining room is sort of in the kitchen. Oh, no, you know what? Wow, that works. Oh, wow, you've got an eat-in kitchen, and this is the one with the dining room. Okay, I was getting this mixed up. You can actually see formal dining here and then eat-in here. This makes sense for $1,579,000. So again, look at the ceiling height and some of the original detail. I like the renovations, this obviously. Oh, staging mirror, staging mirror, staging mirror. See, I told you, staging mirror. That was in the other property. I'm not wrong. Right, I got off topic. Obviously not an original light, but it's made to look like it's from the Victorian era. So bathrooms, very, very difficult to shoot. Here we've got the master, has a fireplace. Boy, I wish I had a wood-burning fireplace. I'll tell you, this is worth $1,579,000 all day. Absolutely. Don't love the green. Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. Okay. And there you can see the parking. So this walks out, and then there's a deck on top. And I'm curious to know if they have floor plans, because I'd love to see this. Okay. Interesting that they went with this as the first photo. I would have gone with this as the first photo, no question about it. So again, detached, they don't have floor plans, damn it. Detached, 22 by 135, 2-car parking, has an unfinished basement, but at $1,579,000, it works. Now here's the rub, guys. This happens to be in Parkdale School District. So who's the buyer for it, right? Who's the buyer for it? You can see right here on Macdonell, it's right down near Queens, so this is in Parkdale. And I look at this and I think it's very interesting because you've got detached, it's a beautiful house, tons of space, much bigger, and there is potential, I guess, with the unfinished basement, although I would bet the ceiling height's pretty poor. So who's buying for $1,579,000 to potentially send their kids to Parkdale? Maybe it's downsizers, or maybe it's people that, would write me nasty emails and say, stop trashing Parkdale, it's a beautiful school. Either or, I have one more house to show you. So I wanted to go here. This is a pick 6 technically today. This is interesting because you'll look at this and say $1,649,000. Yes, it's the highest, but it's a 4-bed plus 1 5-bath, and it's what we call fully renovated. Now, there's a fire hydrant on the lawn. You also stuccoed over top of brick on a Victorian. No, that's not what people like. And this is what happens when you try to flip a home. Okay. So very sterile on the inside. Some people would say this is beautiful. This is a typical flip. And this style in here, a lot of Parkdale, sorry, I keep doing that. A lot of Roncesvalles people, they don't like that. So this is a matter of understanding your demographic. And the layout sucks. I mean, what is this chair area? So this thing was listed for $1,498,800, and now it's at $1,649,000. So they listed low at $1,500,000 essentially, didn't get what they wanted, raised the price, and I do believe they raised it already a little bit higher, and now they've actually brought this down. See this? PC. So this one is at the end of the street. It's at Macdonell. We've seen things obviously that are further. I think we saw one down here at Galley. So it's just a classic example of knowing your buyer pool. For you to stucco over top of the brick really doesn't make any sense. That's not what the buyer's looking for. And this is obviously somebody that bought this on a flip. They think they're going to make some money, and you know what? You listed $1,500,000 holding back, didn't work, and now you're going to see it sit. They paid $820,000 for this thing in 2016, so they've put some time and effort and energy and money into it. I don't think they're hurting. $820,000, how much could you have actually put into this? But I mean, look, no parking. You've got no parking and it's $1,650,000. That's a really, really tough sell. Anyways, guys, I'm out of time today. Thank you for watching. Bullet points in conclusion. Roncesvalles, the school district's a big, big deal for a lot of people. There are 4 schools. One of them is not as good, and that really, really drives the price. But Roncesvalles people are also looking for a certain type of home. People kill for Victorians. The one I showed you at the very, very end doesn't make any sense. You stuck it over all of the beauty. Somebody that really doesn't understand what they're looking for. People love period pieces. People love traditional elements, whether it's exposed brick walls or whether it's original moldings and that sort of thing. That is what drives a lot of buyers into this area. Cool. Okay. Hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic weekend, guys. I will see you next week. Bye for now.